Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into something really cool. It's called VidTwin.
Ah, VidTwin. This is going to be
Yeah,
good.
it's a whole new way of looking at video. And get this, we've got an excerpt from the actual research paper. So we're going straight to the source.
No better way to do it.
Now, I think everyone's noticed how much space video files take up, right? Like you download a 4K movie and suddenly your hard drive is crying for help.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's where these things called video autoencoders come in. Video AEs. Basically, they're like super compressors,
Yeah.
shrinking those files down without hopefully sacrificing the quality.
Right, like squeezing all the good stuff into a tiny package.
Exactly. But VidTwin, this is where it gets interesting. It's not just about compressing the video randomly. It's more like, when you have a blueprint and then you have the actual construction video.
Yeah, I
It's
gotcha.
kind of like separating those two things.
That's a really good analogy, actually, because with traditional video compression, you're either treating every frame like it's unique.
Right, which isn't very efficient.
No, not at all. Or you're trying to separate the content from the motion in a really simple way. But video is tricky. You've got to capture both the visual stuff and how it changes over time. It's not like a still image at all.
It's like if you take a picture of, say, a busy city street, you get that one snapshot. But with video, you get the whole flow of the traffic, the people walking, all that movement in life.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's what VidTwin tackles head on with this new approach. They break the video into two parts: the structure latent and the dynamics latent.
Okay, stop right there. I need to hear more about these two parts. What's the structure latent?
So imagine you've got your blueprint, right?
Right.
The structure latent, it's like that. It's capturing the basic elements of the scene, the objects, their layout, and even those slow, gradual movements. Like if the camera is panning across a landscape, it's like the foundation of what you're seeing.
So if the structure latent is like the what of the video, the stuff that's there in those slow changes, what about the dynamics latent? What's that doing?
This is where it gets fun. Dynamics is all about the details, the quick movements, textures, color shifts, all those sudden actions. Think of it like if the structure latent is the blueprint, the dynamics latent is the actual construction process, bringing everything to life.
So going back to our city street example,
hmm
the dynamics latent would be capturing the cars zipping around, people walking, maybe how the lighting changes throughout the day.
Spot on. It's separating the core elements from the way they change and move. The paper actually has this great example in figure 1, I think it is. It's a video of someone tightening a screw.
Okay.
So the structure latent, that's capturing the screw, the table, where they are. But the dynamic latent, that's the screw rotating, the way it falls when it's loose, all those little fast details.
Okay, I see. I'm starting to see how this could be used for some really cool stuff, especially like if you want to manipulate a video. But how does it actually work? How do they separate those two things so well?
They use this tool called a spatial temporal transformer. Think of it like a super efficient way to analyze both space and time in the video. It's seeing the whole picture and the tiny details at the same time.
Okay, that's pretty advanced. So that transformer is doing a lot of the work. But how does it know what's structure and what's dynamics?
Well, inside that transformer, they've got these special submodules designed to extract those specific elements. It's kind of technical, but it's like a chef. You know, they take their ingredients and they separate the main components from the spices and the way they cook it. Each part contributes to the final dish, but in different ways.
Got it. So VidTwin's breaking the video down into these two fundamental parts. But all this sounds very technical. Why should the average person care about this separation? Like, what does it mean for someone who just wants to watch a movie or, share a video online?
Oh, the benefits are huge. For one thing, the compression they achieve is mind-blowing. We're talking a 500x factor. You could fit a whole movie on something smaller than a credit card.
Wait, 500x?
Yeah.
Seriously. No more buffering issues. Sign me up. That would change everything for streaming and anyone working with big video files. What else can it do?
This is just the beginning. This separation, it opens up incredible possibilities for AI video generation. Think about it. Now you can create new videos with AI, and you can control those separate parts,
Yeah.
the structure and the dynamics.
Okay, now we're talking. I can already see some crazy possibilities there. We definitely need to explore those AI applications more, but that's a story for part 2. For now, let's take a breath and recap. So, VidTwin is revolutionary because it figures out how to separate the what of a video, the structure, from the how, the dynamics.
Exactly. And we're just getting started with exploring what this technology can really do. It's like you can tweak the blueprint and the construction video separately. It's mind-blowing, the stuff you could do.
All right, so we know VidTwin can compress like crazy, and it has huge potential for AI video generation. Let's get into those AI applications a bit more. You mentioned that this separation, the structure and dynamics, it could really change how AI models learn and process video. How so?
Think about it. Traditional AI models, they have to deal with everything in a video at once, all the information, all mixed up. It's a mess.
Right.
But with VidTwin, we can feed those separate latents, the structure and dynamics, right into the AI model. It's like giving it a much clearer picture.
So instead of just dumping a pile of building materials on the AI, we're handing it a set of blueprints and some instructions.
Perfect analogy. The AI can focus on the right information for the task. It learns faster, it's more efficient. Like if you're teaching an AI to recognize actions in a video,
Right.
it can zero in on those dynamic elements, the movements, the changes, without getting bogged down by all the background stuff.
It's like if you're training a sports commentator.
Yeah,
You want them focused on the players and the ball, not distracted by the crowd or the lights.
exactly. And that efficiency, it translates into real benefits. Less computing power needed, less memory usage, faster training times.
So it's not just about making AI smarter, it's about making it more sustainable too, reducing that energy footprint as those models get bigger and more complex.
Absolutely. Sustainability is key. And then there's another big advantage, explainability.
Yeah, you touched on that earlier. Why is explainability so important, especially when it comes to AI?
Well, one of the big concerns with AI, particularly those deep learning models, is that they're kind of like black boxes. You put data in, you get results out, but you don't really know how it got those results.
Which makes it hard to trust the AI's decisions, especially in areas like healthcare or finance or even art.
Exactly. But with VidTwin, we have a much better idea of what's going on inside. We can see how it's handling those separate latents, the connections it's making, how it arrives at its decisions.
So it's like having a window into the AI's thought process. We can trust
Yeah.
it more and be more confident it's behaving ethically.
Precisely. Transparency builds trust and makes people more comfortable using AI.
Okay, so we've got compression, efficiency, explainability. It sounds like VidTwin is ticking all the boxes. But does it actually translate to better video generation? Real-world results?
That's the big question, right? So the researchers, they put VidTwin to the test. They used it with those cutting-edge diffusion models, the ones everyone's talking about for AI video generation.
So they took those separate latents, the structure and dynamics, fed them into a diffusion model, and let it run.
Yep. And they were specifically testing this with class-conditional video generation, meaning they're trying to generate videos that belong to a specific category, like a video of someone playing basketball or a cat chasing a laser pointer.
Interesting. And how did VidTwin compare to other methods?
They used this standard metric called FVD, which measures how realistic and high quality the generated videos are,
Yeah.
and the results. Very promising. Even with a pretty basic setup, VidTwin was right up there with some of the best methods out there.
So it's not just a theory, it actually works. And I bet with more refinement, a bigger data set, those results could get even better.
For sure. We're just scratching the surface of what VidTwin can do for AI video generation. But it's not just about creating new videos, it's about manipulating existing ones in ways we've never seen before.
Now you're talking. I remember reading about those experiments where they isolated and even swapped the structure and dynamics latents between videos.
Right. Imagine taking the structure latent from one video and the dynamics latent from another, combine them, and bam, you've got a whole new video.
Wait, so you could take like a video of a dog running in the park and swap its movements with, I don't know, a ballerina.
You got it. You're taking the skeleton of one video and giving it the flesh and blood of another. The new video, it'll have the main objects, the overall structure from that first video, but the colors, textures, the movements, they come from the second video.
That's wild, like some kind of video remixing. But beyond the novelty, what can we learn from this kind of thing?
That's where it gets really interesting. By playing around with those separate latents, researchers can really understand how each element contributes to how we perceive and understand a video. It's like taking a video apart and putting it back together, figuring out how each piece fits.
It's a scientific approach to video, breaking it down to its core elements.
Exactly. And this deeper understanding, it could lead to even more amazing applications down the line. Think about video recommendations that are truly personalized, editing tools that let you make changes at a fundamental level, AI that can analyze videos and really understand what's happening.
Wow, it sounds like there's no limit to what we could do. We've covered a lot in this deep dive. The technical side of VidTwin, its impact on AI, video generation, and even how we understand video itself.
It's a testament to what we can achieve when we push the boundaries of technology.
Before we jump into the final part, let's quickly recap. VidTwin's the game changer because it figures out how to separate the what from the how in a video, right?
That's the core of it. It's efficient, explainable, and it opens up a whole new world for compression, AI, and even our basic understanding of video.
It's like we've been given this amazing tool, like a Swiss Army knife, for video. But here's the question that's been bugging me. We've talked a lot about how VidTwin impacts AI and computers, but what about us, the humans? How will it change how would WE interact with video, not just the machines?
Now, that's a fantastic question, and it leads us to some really exciting territory. Stay tuned for part 3, where we'll explore how VidTwin could transform video from a passive experience into something much more interactive and engaging.
All right, so we've covered the tech behind VidTwin, how it could revolutionize AI and video generation. Now, let's talk about us humans. How's this going to change how WE interact with video, how we experience it?
That's where things get really interesting. Think about it. What if video wasn't just something you watch passively? What if you could really engage with it, play with it, even personalize it?
I'm picturing something like stepping into a virtual world instead of just watching a movie. But could you give us some concrete examples? What would this interactive video future actually look like?
Okay, let's start simple. Imagine you're watching a nature documentary. Beautiful footage of wildlife, right? But with VidTwin, you wouldn't just be stuck with that fixed perspective.
Right.
You could zoom in on details, change the camera angle, even control the speed of the action.
So like pause the cheetah mid-sprint, rotate the camera to see its muscles from different angles, then slow it way down to analyze its technique.
Exactly. It'd be amazing for anyone studying animals or just, anyone curious about how nature works.
It's like having your own virtual safari guide. And this could work for any kind of video, right? Like cooking shows.
Absolutely. Imagine watching a chef make a chocolate cake, but then you can tweak the recipe on the fly.
Wait, so I could swap out ingredients, make it vegan, adjust the sweetness, all while I'm watching.
Exactly. The content adapts to you. Or think about travel vlogs. You're watching someone explore ancient Rome,
Right.
but you're more into modern architecture. Boom, you switch the scenery to Dubai's skyscrapers instead.
Wow, that would completely change how we experience travel content. And I bet this would be a game changer for education.
You're thinking along the right lines. Imagine students learning history, but instead of just reading a textbook, they can interact with historical events, explore ancient civilizations in 3D, watch science experiments unfold.
It's like combining the best of video games and educational software into this whole new learning experience.
Exactly. Kids would be so much more engaged. And let's not forget about entertainment. Video games where the environments change based on your choices, creating this totally personalized experience.
Okay, now that's next level. Movies where you can choose different paths for the characters.
Exactly. You could influence the story, choose the ending.
I'd be directing blockbusters from my couch. But while we're dreaming about interactive movies, what about the people making these videos? How would this impact them?
That's a great point. VidTwin wouldn't just change how we watch, it would revolutionize how filmmakers and artists create. Think about editing. You could manipulate those latents directly, change the scene, adjust the pacing, add or remove elements.
So much more control over their vision.
Exactly. It would unleash a whole new wave of creativity. Imagine blending different visual styles effortlessly, creating surreal videos, generating brand new content just from your imagination.
It's like instead of being limited by the footage, they become architects of their own visual worlds. And I bet this would empower so many people to tell their stories, not just professionals.
Absolutely. It could democratize video creation. But of course, we can't ignore the potential downsides. Like any powerful technology, there are ethical concerns.
Right. We've got to talk about those.
One big worry is misuse. Deepfakes could become even more realistic, harder to detect, making it easier to spread misinformation. Or imagine content being subtly altered to manipulate our emotions without us even noticing.
We need safeguards, ethical guidelines to make sure this technology is used responsibly.
Absolutely. And as we move towards this personalized, interactive future, there are privacy concerns too. We don't want algorithms constantly tracking us, manipulating us, or taking advantage of us.
No, we don't.
It's on all of us, researchers, developers, policymakers, and even viewers like us, to have open discussions about the ethics of this tech and make sure it's used for good.
Well said. It feels like we've reached the end of our deep dive into VidTwin. We've gone from the technical nitty-gritty to the incredible possibilities to the ethical dilemmas. It's been quite a journey.
It really shows how human creativity and technology are constantly reshaping the world.
So as we wrap things up, what's the one key takeaway we want our listeners to walk away with?
VidTwin isn't just a cool new tech, it's a peek into a future where video becomes this dynamic, interactive medium for creativity, learning, even self-expression. It could change how we learn, create, and even how we see the world.
It's a future where reality and imagination blend together, bringing both amazing opportunities and challenges.
And it's up to all of us to shape that future responsibly, making sure this powerful tool enriches our lives, not controls them.
Wise words. And with that, we encourage all of you listening, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep imagining. The future of video is in our hands. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into VidTwin. Until next time, stay curious.